the Chef's Kitchen. I'm your host, Tina Marie, and today we are celebrating Boston flavors and Kennebunkport style. And what better person to do that with but our own Chef Michael Schlow of Radius Restaurant in Boston. So great to have you here again,
Thank you for having me back. I mean, Boston and Kennebunkport, or Kennebunk, I mean, really, they're made together, aren't
they? The blending of the two is what we're celebrating today.
What's with the baby portions, though, Philippe?
Mr.
Come
Philippe,
on, let's go.
Come on, baby. The baby
This
portions,
is a
we want
chef's
more than a
glass.
sip.
Here we go, chef.
We also have Philippe Newland of Vintus Fine Wine Importers from the Northeast. Pleasure to have you here,
nice to see you.
Celebrating with us and making us enjoy this wonderful selection.
Okay, you get more.
And because, thank you, so I'll keep it coming, believe me. And because food is fun and entertaining and almost spiritual and musical, we are so pleased to have with us a special guest today, Ms. Shauna Halligan, professional singer, performer. You have a band, you have 3 albums out. You just came back from England performing, which is wonderful. So you're dropping by today. And you know, interestingly, you happen to be a great cook.
I love cooking, yes.
Yes.
And I love eating, which is why I'm here.
Which helps. We like that here. So we're so thrilled to have you with us today. You'll be sharing some of your skills with us and joining in the party today.
Fantastic.
As we celebrate all that's great about Boston and Kennebunkport.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about our first selection that we have here, a Chardonnay.
Yes, this is a Chardonnay from Chile, and it's grown sort of in the wild right by the Andes Mountains.
Oh.
And this is so wild ferment.
What does that mean, wild ferment?
Wild ferment, actually, you know, in this day and age where so many things are standardized, this is wine that's made with its own yeast. Whatever comes off the grapes, it starts fermenting slowly, and what it results in is a wine of much more complexity, much more richness. I think you're going to find that it's really beautiful. Please,
here's to Tina. Actually, here's to Tina's next sip, right? I think she's already got in there.
I have that in there already.
I think that's
very
gonna be
nice,
perfect
very wild.
and perfect to cook with.
Just like
perfect.
us.
Yes.
Nice and wild. Thank you so much,
My
Philippe.
pleasure.
You'll be joining us at the end for the tasting, right? With maybe another pairing, I
I'd
hope.
be delighted.
All right.
Delighted to.
I'm ready to cook. I don't know about the rest of you.
Michael said, you
Go
can
for
go,
it.
but you know, keep the wine.
All right, go find some
Thank
more
you
wine,
again,
Philippe.
Philippe.
You'll get some more wine. We'll see.
Let's switch positions. I want to be in between the two of you.
Okay.
This is like a dream come
course
true.
you
The chef gets
Michael.
whatever he asks for, sir.
Fantastic.
So, you know.
We're gonna. I think we're gonna make 2 dishes today because normally I do a little too much. I think when I come on the Chef's Kitchen, we try and do 3 dishes, but we have plenty of time, and I've got 2 helpers, so I'm gonna make you both work a little bit, and I'm just gonna enjoy the wine. We're gonna do 2 dishes. We're gonna
Smart man.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do 1 dish from Italy. You were just in Italy, right? We're gonna do homemade pasta with Maine lobster, since we're in Maine, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna have some peas that I actually had saved from the summertime. And it's going to be a little bit spicy with some chilies and a little bit of lobster stock, really good dish.
Sounds wonderful.
And then a dish that I want to do tonight, that we're doing a dinner tonight
Yes.
here at
A
Castle.
gala dinner here
Yes.
at Chase Hill Events.
And so what we're going to do with that is we're going to do the fish course tonight. And we're going to show everybody how to make that. It's super simple. And it is a slow roasted salmon dish, something you do at home. I always like to do dishes that you can make in the house, you know. So it's with mushrooms and Brussels sprout leaves and a little bit of truffle vinaigrette. But we've got some work to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to put you both to work. This is
Let's get
fantastic.
started.
All right, let's
He
start with the
loves having
pasta.
2 helpers.
And Shauna, if you want, super sharp knife there, but if you would slice a little bit of garlic for me for the lobster dish. Okay, we've already got the lobster peeled and all this sort of stuff. And don't chop yourself, don't chop any digits off or anything like that.
I'll do
The
my
hospital is far away from here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get started on the salmon preparation so that everything gets done and sort of comes together at the same time.
Good.
I've got some stuff already prepped, but what I wanted to show you is Brussels sprout leaves. It's a nice way to do Brussels sprouts, and instead of just cutting them in half, if you got a little extra time, what I want you to do is a few of these, cut the bottom off, right? And then just start peeling this away as if you were doing like a leaf of cabbage or lettuce, okay?
Okay, very
good. So you do a couple of those, and I'm going to get started on the sauce. There's a few of those right there, okay?
Perfect.
How much garlic would you like, darling?
Actually, I think that's more than enough. Here's the thing about garlic in cooking in America in general. When you're in Italy, for sure, they use very, very little garlic. I think a misnomer about Italian food is that garlic and cheese goes into everything.
Yes.
It doesn't. Especially seafood dishes, there's no cheese traditionally. So with garlic being sliced thinly like that, what we're going to do is a little bit of extra virgin olive oil for this sauce, and just a few. You drink some wine, Shauna.
All right.
You're probably a little travel weary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Better to slice
Helps with the jet lag.
So a little bit of garlic, and I'm going to say like for each portion, maybe 3-4 slices. We've got this delicate lobster meat, we've got lobster stock, we've got some tomatoes. We don't want this to be super garlicky.
Cooked something from the show? Went to a restaurant that you loved? Found a place serving innovative cocktails or impressive wine? Become a fan of the Chef's Kitchen on Facebook and share your thoughts. We now return to the Chef's Kitchen.
Once this gets golden brown, Sean, if you want to put a couple pinches of salt and pepper in there, don't be shy with the salt. It's kosher salt.
It's always?
Well, it's what I used ever since I've been bar mitzvah. I thought kosher salt's the only thing that we really use. And let's throw some red chili flake in there.
Well, there are some other reasons for using kosher salt too, right? Because the
That's
surface areas.
fantastic, by the way. Where did you learn that? Did you learn that in Europe on your travels?
I've been studying you.
Let's throw a little. So the lobster meat's already cooked.
Okay.
Also, so we don't want to cook it a second time in the sauce. We just want to warm it up. So what I'm going to do is take some lobster stock and some tomato. This is just milled San Marzano tomato. It's canned.
Okay.
And it's a very, very consistent product. And we're just going to put that over the heat and let that all reduce together. Also, you know what you can do for me, Shauna? Do you mind? This is a thankless task, but hopefully you don't mind. Pick me off some leaves of thyme, please. Just some thyme.
leaves.
I know
All
that's
I've got
not
is
the
time.
most,
All I've got is time.
it's not the most fun job to do, but it's
But it
therapeutic
certainly is aromatic.
and therapeutic, right?
Yes.
So what we would do with this, so you've got a couple leaves there, and then what
Yes.
I want you to also do is just, we have a bunch of different mushrooms. This is all for the salmon dish.
Okay.
And what we would do with these leaves, and I've done it ahead of time, I just want to show how easy it is to get enough. This is enough for 2 orders, really.
Right.
Is then you just blanch it in some salted water and then dip it into some ice. You just shock it, basically. You blanch
Okay.
it and then shock it. Same thing with the mushrooms. What we would do is we have some shiitake mushrooms, some cremini mushrooms, button mushrooms. You can do anything you want as far as the mushroom combination. Spend as little or as much as you like. Since the people are spending a lot of money tonight, we went all out with matsutake mushrooms, maitake mushrooms. We got all kinds of mushrooms in our
Yes.
mix for tonight. And what I did is I just sauteed it in a little bit of butter and some shallots. That's it.
Okay.
Now, one of the other things that I'm going to be serving the salmon with today is this right here. Stick your finger in that.
Yes.
Taste
And
it.
would you like me? I was going to say.
Stick
please
your
let me
finger in and just
that.
taste it.
Let's see. Oh,
Do you know what it is?
wait a second. Sweet. It's almost custardy. There's almost like a little bit of a
Acid.
mustard flavor.
No mustard, actually, but that's close.
What is it? It's
It's
like a
actually
creamy-
it's a very creamy, and there's no cream in it.
No.
White. It's a green apple puree
Really?
that's done with vegetable stock and butter. Do you want to taste
That's
it
all
also?
that's in
While you-
that?
Of
Yeah.
course, I'm feeling.
It almost tastes
feeling
like
left out?
it almost tastes like sour cream and almost a I
Wow.
keep saying mustard,
Wow.
but it's sour cream.
Well, it's
It's
got a little
easy.
bit of ascorbic acid in it also, is what
Okay.
keeps it so white. So what you do is you slice it very, very thin on a mandolin.
Okay.
And then what you do is you just, after it's cooked with a little bit of vegetable stock and some butter, and a little bit of ascorbic acid, which keeps it white, put a little bit more butter in it, and you put it into a blender, and that's it.
Oh,
it's
wow.
super easy, and you can serve it room temperature or hot. Today for this dish, we're going to serve it at room
And
temperature.
this is going to go along with our salmon.
Exactly. So what we're going to do
Beautiful.
is apple puree, Brussels sprout leaves, mushrooms, and you and I are going to make a truffle vinaigrette.
Ooh,
the next thing I want
lovely.
you to do is just crack 1 egg yolk, just the yolk,
Just the
into
yolk.
this bowl. All right. So the pasta, this was, what would you say, 4 minutes that sauce cooked together?
That's it.
That's it. We put it off to the side. We let it wait. What we do is we just put some of the lobster meat in there. Some
And this is already
peas.
cooked lobster meat.
Yep.
Some fresh
peas.
peas.
Yeah.
Lovely.
The peas, what I do is at the end of the summer, when they're still at their brightest, we get as many peas as we can, and raw, we put them in the freezer. And what happens is there's actually a change in the starch to sugar in the peas, and they get very, very sweet and very delicious.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
then just one small tab of butter. This would be in Evan DeLudi's world, like a teaspoon,
small
a small
bit of
tab of butter. Evan DeLudi.
Another Boston friend as we're celebrating
Yes.
all that is great about Boston culinary
He actually
scene.
gave me the idea for this dish, to be honest with you.
Oh, he did?
He did. I
Okay.
stole it from his restaurant.
Well, you both have an
He steals
appreciation
from me all
for
the time,
Italian. Yes. It's a mutual relationship.
Yes.
And we should add, this celebration today is part of a whole weekend filled with Boston culinary talent and Kennebunkport style, culminating in a great gala dinner tonight, which you guys will be cooking
Yes.
at. You, Mark Orfali, Evan DeLudi, and
Yep.
we're having cooking classes tomorrow.
Yep, it's going to be
here
great.
at
It's gonna
Chase
be great.
Hill.
I'm going to switch with you, start to whisk that egg yolk.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take some peeled truffles.
Very good. And you're right next to our gorgeous flowers from Sawyer and Company, another Kennebunkport style contributor.
Fantastic. They're beautiful. They did a nice job.
I know. So with the season.
Shauna, how's that thyme coming over there?
It's looking lovely. The
All right.
smell is driving me absolutely wild
Yeah,
from
so
the pan.
take the garlic, push it off to the side, and give the thyme just a little chop there, and throw a
Alrighty.
big pinch into that lobster mixture. While we're doing this, I'm going to take a piece of salmon onto a sheet pan, okay? Put a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of the sheet pan. And this is a great, almost foolproof way to cook salmon at home.
Okay.
That changes the texture very much versus, say, if you wanted to do like grilling, which is delicious also, but this is a very, very easy way to do this. And what we're going to do is it's just going to be, you can see how gorgeous the salmon is
It's
also.
beautiful.
This is Scottish salmon. This is what we're serving tonight. And I'm going to just put some salt and pepper. Did you put all that time in there? I got to put a little bit on the salmon.
All right.
So
then
your
I will,
job is not done yet.
I will make some more for you.
Okay.
And so you're going to be baking it in the oven like
We're
that?
going to put it in the oven. It's only a 300-degree oven. And actually, yeah, you're okay.
So
but we
low
do need a little bit
temperature,
more.
fairly low
We do need
temperature.
a little bit more. Fairly low temperature. And what happens is the salmon itself gets nice and soft and sort of creamy. And it doesn't seize up at all. I mean, I love grilled salmon, I love seared salmon, but this is my favorite way to cook it in the restaurant, and it's a very, very easy thing to do at home. So just salt, pepper, thyme in the oven, and this will take about 12 minutes.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. We're back with more from the chef's kitchen.
We're basically going to make like a light mayonnaise that we're going to break with a little bit of sherry vinegar. We're going to put lots of truffles in here.
Okay.
Again, the people paid a lot of money for this dinner
Yes.
tonight, so they get truffles galore. And we're going to make a truffle vinaigrette, but it's an emulsified vinaigrette. Often at Radius, we do broken vinaigrettes where the
Okay.
vinegar and olive oil have been separated, but in this one, we're going to do it together. Go ahead and whisk that away.
It smells amazing,
Yes, it
Michael.
does.
Really does.
Slowly, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. And we're creating a little emulsion here, like a mayonnaise.
Yes.
Okay. I'll put just a little tiny drop of truffle juice in there also.
Truffle juice.
Yeah, listen, when you're in Maine,
Truffle
you got to
all
go
the
big.
way.
You got to do
All
it,
the
right?
big.
How does one make truffle juice?
Well, you have to, there's no real, what it is it comes from peeled truffles, and this is just olive oil right now, but the truffle juice is what is packed, these peeled truffles comes packed in, okay? Now put just a little tiny bit of truffle oil. You got to whisk a
oil.
little bit more.
Good.
Just a little bit
He's
more.
saying that like you really don't want to do that.
Just a
Great.
little. I'm not a big fan of truffle oil, but in
Okay.
this case we do need a little bit.
Okay.
And then a little bit of finely sliced chives. That should be good. I'm going to switch places with you for a
Beautiful.
second.
Beautiful.
Shauna,
Yes.
grab a big handful of that homemade guitarra pasta, drop it in the, well, you need some salt in the pasta water, right?
Of course.
Okay,
And
grab
how
a big
much of
hand-
this would you like?
About half of it, okay?
Very
I'm
aromatic.
very hungry though.
Well, then put 1.5 in, and there
He
you
wants
go.
more than what you're
Offering there in
dishing out
pasta.
there.
Okay. Throw that in there. You can throw more. Throw some more in.
All right.
All right? So we're going to let this pan get just warm.
Okay.
I'm going to put the blanched Brussels sprout leaves in here.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So maybe add a little crispy.
Well, it won't get too crunchy and crispy, just a little bit.
Okay.
And the mushrooms. And do you have any time left for me, or did you use it all?
I can make more time for
Just
you.
a-
in a
oh,
jiffy.
that's
All
nice.
we've got is time here, my friend.
Fantastic.
And in keeping with our celebration of Kennebunkport style, if you
Yes.
notice, ladies and gentlemen, we have some gorgeous artwork from our own Jonathan Eiton, who is a local artist here in Kennebunkport. Some just
Fantastic.
gorgeous, fantastic paintings, really vibrant colors.
Okay, a little bit of salt and pepper
Wow.
into this.
That's a truffle explosion.
I like that. That sounds
Wonderful.
good. Okay,
Really
to start
good.
to plate this, because we want everything to come together at the same time. Throw that thyme right in there for me, please.
The aromas in this kitchen, Michael, are outstanding.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
So,
A
so
drop of
good.
sherry vinegar, because we need a little bit of acidity with all these rich flavors.
The sherry vinegar,
Okay.
let's remember. And our wonderful apple puree. I never would have guessed.
You thought it tasted like mustard, so maybe
I
I'm doing
did.
something
I said
wrong.
mustard. It must be something in that ascorbic acid that you said was also in
Is
there.
that-
Maybe that gave me that little acidy taste.
That's good to go. Spoon. Watch this now. This is an easy thing you can do
Are we
at home.
tasting?
We are going to start to taste. Yes.
Excellent.
This is an easy thing that you can do at home to make for a really nice presentation.
Okay.
Put some of the puree, and this could be potato puree. This could be celery root puree.
Okay.
Take the back of a ladle.
Yes.
You see like the pizza guys, right?
Yes.
Same basic idea. Make this into a nice circle. Okay, we can actually put a little bit more on so we get
Okay.
a full circle. Like you said, you're hungry, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's lovely.
Okay, we put that and a little bit of this vegetable mixture into the middle.
Okay.
Shauna, will you grab the salmon out of the
Absolutely.
oven for me?
So the apple puree actually almost acts like a sort of a glue, I guess.
We try not to think of glue or
Right.
garbage is another word we try to stay away from when describing our food, okay?
Two G words.
Yeah, glue and garbage I want to stay away from,
That's
all right?
essentially what you're doing, though, isn't
and
it, Michael?
scraps. We don't want to say scraps either. How's that looking?
It looks beautiful.
Okay,
It
so the
looks
salmon
perfect.
is nice. We got a little piece of lemon here. We just want to squeeze that over the top of the fish.
And 12 minutes in the oven,
12 minutes, that's all it takes.
in a preheated oven.
And then a little bit of this truffle vinaigrette, a little bit right over
Right
the
on
top,
top.
and a little bit around the outside. Okay?
Gorgeous.
For me in my restaurants, the pasta is literally one of the most important things, if not the most important thing.
Well, you have a great fondness for Italian food
I
and
love
Italian
Italian
culture
cooking.
and everything about it. So,
So with this homemade guitarra, you want to make sure that it's
and this
cooked
is
properly.
homemade in your restaurant?
Yes,
Do you
every
make
day.
all of your own pastas?
Well, some are homemade and some are dried. I like both.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a fresh pasta. And you want to still have some bite to it,
Yes.
which it does. I'll let you guys taste it in 1 second.
Are you a fan of cooking your pasta with a little bit of olive oil?
No,
Really?
God no. That's like the worst thing you could do. Two things you never do to pasta. One is cook it in olive oil, and,
Right.
because we want the pasta and the sauce to cook together. And so if you
Yes.
cook pasta with olive oil in it,
Yes.
and somehow this
It will
has turned
slide.
itself
It will
off,
slide off, right?
exactly, it won't be able to
Okay.
cook together.
Now, some of your pastas you like dried, and some of them you make
well,
in house.
Exactly. So, different sauces ask for different pastas, in my
Yes.
opinion. You know, so something like this, where the pasta is fresh, there's not going to be any shells to this. We wouldn't leave the lobster in the shell still. If this was hard pasta, we could do clams or mussels or lobster
Okay.
in the shell still. And what we want to make sure is that the pasta and the sauce become one. So it takes a few seconds for them to cook together. So what I'm
Right.
going to do with this pasta is we're going to make this an extra big portion for you,
Yes,
right?
thank you very
Nice.
much.
Well, there's quite a few of us to feed on set today, so
Well, we have plenty, I think. So
we'll always.
I don't know what you
Pasta.
guys are going to eat, actually.
This is just for you?
We have the salmon we can dig into.
So
Beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
And then we'll bring some chili flakes to the table if we want. But I
Okay.
think it should be spicy enough. But let's go and taste these and get some more
Excellent.
wine
Let's
as well,
have
right?
Philippe pair
You know
us
what?
with
Maybe
some
just a
more
little bit
wine.
over the top. How's that? A couple of leaves of parsley.
Very
Whole
nice
parsley.
addition.
Gorgeous. Let's go eat.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more from the Chef's Kitchen. We're back with Chef Michael Schlow, enjoying the creations you made for us today.
Well, you guys really did all the heavy lifting. I didn't do anything. You and Shauna made all the work.
Your
Real easy.
capable brain work that we
That's-
couldn't have
well,
lived
thank you.
without,
Thanks.
right? And Philippe, you're going to pair these wonderful dishes with a nice wine.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to pair these two dishes from Chef Schlow with a Pinot Noir from our country, from the Santa Rita Hills on the coast of California. And this is from one of the great winemakers on the West Coast, a gentleman by the name of Richard Sanford. 40 years ago, planted these vines, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had the movie Sideways.
Oh, really?
So I think that Pinot Noir is one of these grapes that really can be used very flexibly with food. And we have two dishes here. I think it's going to bridge both. And what we're looking for is some freshness of acidity, some really bright, pretty cherry, black cherry, red cherry fruit.
Thank you for having us
Cheers.
on. Thanks
Style
for
of
the
the
wine.
food.
Thank you. Nice
Thanks
meeting
for
you.
your help, both of you.
Cheers. Delicious.
Should we eat?
Fantastic.
You guys
Let's
dig
eat.
in.
In true Italian style, let's eat. I'm going to start with the salmon.
Wow, that's
Okay.
really nice.
Lovely. Please,
Tell me what you think of the texture of this salmon. Shauna, you have a fork?
everyone, please
Just dig
grab a
in,
fork
okay?
and just dig in. It's like velvet. Just falls apart.
Salmon,
It's so smooth.
by cooking it in that slow temperature oven, I just love the texture of the salmon. It doesn't get super tough at all.
No.
And it's kind of almost impossible, to be honest with you, to overcook it. It comes out very silky, like you said.
It's
kinda
very, very
soft.
silky.
Good.
Wow.
And now
With
for
a
the
nice-
pasta, your homemade pasta.
Wow.
And it's super
Absolutely
spicy too. I like the guitarra with the little extra chilies to it. You could put some orange zest in this too. I think would be interesting to go with this wine.
So
You
rustic.
can see that.
Really.
Maine lobster at its best.
Wonderful, wonderful meal. Rustic, elegant, gorgeous wine pairing. Thank you
very
so much, Philippe.
My pleasure.
To all of you,
Cheers.
Michael, Philippe, Shauna, it's been a joy having you all here on the Chef's Kitchen today.
Thanks.
Boston flavor and Kennebunkport style. Can't beat it.
Can't go wrong.
Thanks again, everyone. And joining me now is Bruce Elam from Shipyard Brewing. You're a trade brewer there.
I am.
And we are featuring now Alan Pugsley's signature beer, Smashed Pumpkin.
That's right. This is actually the newest product in the Signature Series line. We launched this line a couple of years ago, and now these are what the industry terms as big beers.
Yes.
These are higher in alcohol.
Big in bottle, too.
Big in bottles too, but
yes.
when we say big beers in the industry, we're actually talking about higher in alcoholic content. So this is a 9% beer.
Wow.
And more complex flavor profiles. So this is our Smashed Pumpkin,
Yes.
based off the incredible success of our fall seasonal, the Pumpkinhead beer.
Yes.
Which is 4.8%. We decided to make a large, fuller-bodied, richer version, and this is the Pumpkinhead ale.
And now Alan Pugsley is master brewer at Shipyard.
He
Has
is.
a storied history,
He certainly
straight
does.
from England,
Yes,
correct?
Yes. He's been called the Johnny Appleseed of the craft brewing renaissance
Yes.
because he has helped many, many breweries start up all across the world.
So now you also offer beer tours.
We find that people really want to know the ins and outs of the process and of the components
There's
that go
people
into
that
making
are
particular styles.
very passionate about their beers.
So much so that we can actually get them to do a little bit of work. You
Yes.
know, if they can come on a 3-day brewing experience.
That's wonderful. So they get to really know all aspects of the brewing process.
They do. It's a
Get
great
to
opportunity.
Chat with the brewers, and you're there. You're on hand
I
there.
am. And you can see this is a nice, rich.
Rich coppery color.
Copper color.
A little bit darker than the Pumpkinhead.
It is.
And so richer. What kind of foods would this pair well with, Bruce?
Again, it would go good with turkey, strong cheeses and nuts. You know, would
Okay.
be good.
Cheers to Shipyard. Wow. Very spicy. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot
in that
going
beer.
on. Much more complex than
Much
the
more
lighter
complex
version.
than the Pumpkinhead. Really, this is actually what I would consider a wine lover's beer.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot to talk about. You can taste the pumpkin. I can taste a little bit of nutmeg in
Yep.
that as well. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bruce.
You're welcome.
Pleasure learning all about the process with you.
Thanks.
Cooked something from the show? Went to a restaurant that you loved? Found a place serving innovative cocktails or impressive wine? Become a fan of the Chef's Kitchen on Facebook and share your thoughts.